Hello, and welcome to the Mirrored Muse podcast, a sanctuary for the soul and a spark for the revolutionary spirit, where our truth is reflected, our radiance remembered, and our spirit set free. I'm your host, Whitney Amber, and together we'll journey into the depths of what it means to awaken, embody, and expand as the muse of our own life. Through soulful storytelling, raw reflections, guided practices, and revolutionary conversations, this podcast is here to truly meet you in your own becoming. So, let's take a deep breath, soften our edges. It's time to step into the mirror. This is your invitation to rise. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the Mirrored Muse podcast. Today's episode is a permission slip, a reclamation, and honestly, a gentle but firm shake of the shoulders from your future self. Because we're talking about something that truly has the power to heal burnout, restore meaning, recalibrate our nervous systems, deepen relationships, and shift the entire trajectory of this next era of human evolution. This is something that has single-handedly restored connection to not just myself, but something greater than me. Not to be dramatic, but we are talking about creative sovereignty. And this is the ability to trust your voice, to own your expression, to lead from a place that honors both the intuition and the structures needed to carry out dreams, goals, visions. This is truly to remember that your creativity is not some side hobby. It's truly your inner technology. It's arguably the new yoga for your soul, or so I'd like to call it. It's the part of you the world needs the most right now. So if you're listening to this feeling disconnected, numb, uninspired, overworked, just totally drained, overstructured, or just straight up tired, I promise you are in the perfect place. So take a breath, shake out your shoulders, and just come home for a second. This is your moment. And let's just be honest for a second. We live inside a world that is built similarly to a spreadsheet. And if I don't know anyone in the world who hates spreadsheets as much as I do. But when we think about it, it really does resemble that. It's a world that worships output, efficiency, logic, hustle, a world that was designed structurally by the masculine principle. And I want to pause just for a second right here and preface this entire episode and honestly the podcast in general. When I am talking about masculine and feminine, please know that I'm referencing energies. When I mention masculine, I'm not talking specifically about a man. And when I mention feminine, I'm not specifically talking about women. Because it is a belief here at the Mirrored Muse that every human being obtains both the masculine and feminine energies within. So just wanted to take a minute and kind of clear the air there. So, back to our world that was designed structurally by the masculine principle. This isn't men specifically. This is the masculine architecture. Linear timelines, hierarchies, deadlines, optimization, stay in your lane kind of mentality. Don't be messy, prove it, achieve it, earn it, produce it. And for a long time, this structure held society together, right? We can't deny that. It's created systems, laws, roads, governments, economies. It's built skyscrapers and machines and medicine and technology. These are huge, monumental things. The masculine architecture has progressed society in a very I want to say quick, but a very fast and beautiful way in a lot of ways. And also, as this has been the predominant architecture of our society, somewhere along the way, something very sacred has kind of fallen by the wayside. And yes, I'm talking about the feminine, the artistry, the intuition, the slowness, the softness, the imagination, the part of life that is not meant to be optimized. We lost our connection to beauty, to meaning, to the muse inside of us who whispers, "Slow down, love. I have something to show you. I want to move through you." And when the feminine goes missing, so does creativity. We shrink, we silence ourselves, we move through life like shadows of who we actually are. We feel like we're performing instead of living. Can I get an amen? And most of us don't even know why we feel so unhappy. Even when our lives look fine and glamorous or even perfect on paper. Because here's the truth. When we live only inside masculine structure, we abandon half of our humanity. And to be honest, this is where I want to lovingly flip a table, if you will, because society has tricked us into believing that creativity is extra, a hobby, a luxury, something you get access to once your real work is done. I mean, think about how schools work, right? That's exactly what happens. When all the homework and the bookwork gets completed, then there's time for creativity. Then there's time for drawing and art. So this is instilled into our society at such a young age. But no, my love. Creativity is vital. Creativity is the immune system of the collective. It's what breaks stagnation, what heals shame, what reconnects us to ourselves and to each other. And in a world where both patriarchy and technology operate as masculine dominant forces, we need creativity now more than ever. Because creativity is the feminine principle in motion. Where masculine systems build structure, creativity builds meaning. It invites connection. Where masculine energy moves forward, creativity moves inward. Where masculine logic solves, creativity dances, it imagines, it inspires. Where technology accelerates, creativity slows us down enough to feel. And the future is feeling. Where structure organizes, creativity liberates. And we need both. Both and. Always both. Not one ruling over the other, but both in harmony. Creativity is not a weakness. It's a counterbalance, a balm, a regulator, a restorer of equilibrium in an overstimulated world. It infuses aliveness and spark into the mundane. This is why the Mirrored Muse exists. This is why the Mirrored Muse exists now. And this is not me being poetic. This is spiritually, psychologically, and culturally accurate. When you deny your creativity, you deny your wholeness. When you shut down your imagination, you shut down your sovereignty. When you silence your muse, you silence your leadership. And just for a quick little share here, there was a culmination moment that came while I was in Chicago, when I was still flying back and forth for those final 2 weeks of work, where I realized I had been living inside someone else's script for my entire life. I had structure, I had strategy, I had salary, I had achievement, I had a plan. But I did not have my voice. Not fully, not the way my soul was begging me to. I knew a vision was calling me, but I didn't have the vision. And honestly, I was exhausted burnt out, depleted, emotionally numb, going through motions, calling it success, all the things. It wasn't until I stepped back into my artistry, the writing, the dancing, the storytelling, the dreaming, the creating, that my life made sense again. And as I've said before on the podcast, Bali reawakened me. Paris cracked me open and allowed me to receive and shine. Mallorca softened me, and right now, Jamestown is cocooning me. And you know what I realized? I had been waiting for another plan and strategy because that's how I survived for so long. But what I actually needed was permission to slip back into my femininity, my natural essence, sensuality, and creativity. Creativity doesn't need my credentials. It doesn't need my productivity. It doesn't need me to be perfect. It just needs me to be present, connected, and devoted. So I do want to take a moment and just define creative sovereignty very clearly so this becomes embodied for you too. Creative sovereignty is the unapologetic ownership of your voice, your vision, and your vibe or way of creating. It looks like trusting your intuition more than you trust approval, following your rhythm instead of external pressure, letting your creativity guide your leadership, not being scared to show up differently, letting beauty matter, creating from desire, not fear, valuing internal truth over external validation, honoring your muse as a legitimate source of wisdom, knowing your creativity is a contribution, not an indulgence. It's the courage to say, actually, my creativity is sacred. Oh, and actually, my expression is necessary. Oh, and actually, my intuition is hella intelligent. And actually, the world needs what I create. When you reclaim your creative sovereignty, you stop performing and you start leading. You stop hiding and you start expressing. You stop shrinking and you start building worlds, movements. This next era, the one we're all feeling, sensing, and anticipating, I know I truly have been, especially I think it's been even more heightened towards the end of last year of 2025. December just really felt like a pressure cooker in a lot of ways for this new era. And it's not going to be led by people who have the most information or influence as we've known it. It's going to be led by people who have the most imagination. Leaders who can feel, creators who can see, visionaries who can dream beyond an algorithm, artists who can tell the truth and feel the resonance in the storytelling. Women who trust their intuition so deeply that systems have no choice but to adapt. Our society does not need more productivity. It needs more presence. Not more content, it needs more conscious creation. Not more domination, it needs more harmony. Definitely not more noise, more beauty. Your creativity is not just about you. It's one of the ways the feminine energy, right, and the feminine collective too here, is rising again. It's how we recalibrate a world out of balance. When you create, you act as a tuning fork. You bring coherence into chaos. You soften the world. You humanize it. You heal it. This is why creative sovereignty is leadership. Not cute leadership, not soft leadership. Real, dynamic leadership. The kind the world is starving for. So, I want you to just breathe for a moment. Maybe even place a hand on your heart or your belly and ask yourself gently, where have I abandoned my creativity? And a lot of this for us, if we can go back into our childhood, this was very present or would try to come out a lot. So maybe it's helpful to connect with little you and ask, where have we abandoned our creativity? Maybe ask, where have I dimmed my art, silenced my truth, ignored my intuition, denied my desires, overstructured my soul, forgotten my magic? Because the muse inside you, she's not gone. She's just been waiting for the room to get quiet enough for you to hear her again. Creative sovereignty is not something you earn. It's just something you simply remember. I know for me, I have recently started keeping a collage book, and that has sparked so much aliveness back into my life, and it has brought such, oh my gosh, just inspiration and excitement to my everyday. I would say my collage book and dancing for sure. So it's just something we carry that we need to remember. So, love, here is your permission slip. You are allowed to create. You are allowed to reinvent. I'm going to go a step further. You are encouraged to be both soft and powerful. You are encouraged to lead with intuition. You are encouraged to disrupt systems with beauty. You are encouraged to take up creative space. You are encouraged to trust yourself. It's allowed, I promise, it's needed. And you are allowed and encouraged to build a life that feels like art. And here's the secret. When you reclaim your creative sovereignty, the world around you shifts too. Because your creativity isn't just your gift, it's your legacy, it's your contribution, it's your medicine, it's the thing that only you can bring to the world the way you can do it. This is your time, this is your return, this is your remembrance. And in this new era, people don't want more noise. They want nervous system safe creators, embodied voices, stories that feel lived in, not manufactured. When someone feels you through the screen or, through the microphone, that is not an algorithm win. That is a frequency match. That is resonance. And those people stay. They share. They come back. They build and maybe even begin to co-create with you. That is connection. That is our future. So yeah, please, I encourage you, post with intention, create with love. Let your body lead before trends do. The right eyes always find what's true, sometimes slower but deeper. And you're playing the long game. That is my prayer for you, is that you play the long game with grace, humor, and soul. May alignment outrank metrics. May resonance beat reach. May what's meant for you never miss you. Thank you so much for trusting me with your time today, for joining this conversation moment, this mirror and movement of remembering. Feel free to keep this conversation going in the comments, and if this episode moved or sparked something within you, I'd be so honored and jazzed if you'd subscribe to the podcast, share it, leave a review, or maybe just invite a friend into the conversation. You can also join our Radiant community on Instagram at the Mirrored Muse, where you'll find more reflections, resources, announcements, and events. So be sure to give us a follow to stay in the know. And until next time, Stay wild, stay soft, and never forget you are the muse.